everybody. Jan of Jan Hicks Creates here. Time for a little stitch with me, so gather up all your stitching stuff and come and sit with me for a little bit. So how are you guys doing today? It is Friday, December 6th, 9:17 a.m., 69 degrees here, going up to 74. It's going to be another gorgeous day in the neighborhood. Tomorrow marks the 78th celebration. Not celebration, that's the wrong word. Memorial? Recognition? I don't know what the word I want, but the 78th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor, and tomorrow marks our 1-year anniversary of being on the island. Are we doing anything special? I really don't know. Mike wasn't feeling too well yesterday. He did go into work today because he had to be there for a meeting. He came home early yesterday. I expect he'll come home early again today, so it'll depend on how he feels. I mentioned the other week that there was a request for me to get up to the North Shore and do some filming of the surfers. Well, this weekend is, I guess, the biggest surfing competition of the year up there. So this would be the weekend we would go away from where the surfing competition is, because it will be busy. It's always hard to get around. I've mentioned this before. It's hard to get around on the road up there on those popular beaches most of the time anyway. But this weekend, I can't even imagine what they're like. So what am I working on? Angelic Vision. This is the angel from Teresa Kogut. I am using, isn't she pretty? I am loving this. I'm using 38 count Zweigart linen from XG Design. The color is called Coffee Mix. And I just think it's it's the perfect colorway for this. I love how all the colors are blending on this, how they all look. Right now I'm working on her halo. I am working quasi-diagonally because this is pretty much all full coverage until we get into here and here now. So I've finished like this area up in here. So I'm working on the next diagonal down. So right now this is all the halo that I'm filling in, and I may get, no, I don't think I'll get to the hair yet. I'm still just going to be in the halo coming down here on this diagonal. So I am just working on this an hour a day. I have my wooden cat grime guard here, and I do really love it. It is magnetic on here, so I can just stick my needle on there. There's 2 magnets. So yeah, stitching in hand on that. I have my floss in one of the coin pockets like I've been talking about. I didn't worry about the whole putting felt on it and parking needles on the felt. I'm just using 1 needle for this. So this does make it more convenient to get a strand of floss out than getting into my tuxed bags and pulling out from there and then putting the bag away, whether I have it on rings or whatever. So what I did was I cut off a length of, actually probably a couple lengths, and just rolled them up and stuck them in the bag. So you can see some of them that I've used. The single strand that I've had left is up kind of towards the top. So when I do need to get that color again, I can just kind of pull out that single strand and rethread it. I'm really liking using these coin pockets. I did get a new bunch of them from Amazon, and I will include the link below. I've had a lot of you asking about them, but I'm really liking using them pretty much for any of my projects. Hold on, where am I? I am, oh, I'm there. Okay, pretty much for any of my projects, because it just makes it easier to get to the floss than if it's in a bag or, you know, anything like that. I have gotten a set of new pockets and a new binder for Farewell to Anger. I plan on starting the process of getting that all set up this weekend. And when I do start that, I'm going to go ahead and film it and show you guys, because like I said, I've had enough of you ask about it that I hope you will find it useful. It's not like it's rocket science or anything, but I think we always all appreciate kind of a visual step through of things. Now, it is a bit of a process when I first set it up, because I have to attach the felt, and I have to attach the color number and symbol to the pocket. But once I get, oh, it's garbage day. Garbage day is supposed to be Mondays. Alrighty then. Once I get it set up, like with the felt on the pages, I'll be able to reuse these pages for future projects, you know, for like when I finish Farewell to Anger 10 years down the road. Yeah, I think there's more pocket purchases in my future. I need to mark off what I've done here. So, yeah, I'll do a video on that showing my setup. I think I pretty much have everything I need now. I still am going to need to buy more needles. I got, for these full coverage projects, because I do need so many needles, I just get cheap ones. The DMC from Walmart, they're $1.44 here on the island for a 6-pack. I'll be interested to see what they are in other places. But I got 7 packs when I was at the store yesterday. So that means I have about half of the needles that I need. There's 89 colors in my Farewell to Anger. I have the regular size. So I'll need to go to the store and get more of those again before we get started on this. So that is the stitch along that is going to start on January 1st. Now, we had also talked, oh, and we're going to have a hashtag for that, really fancy hashtag Farewell to Anger SAL. Hopefully that's easy to remember. Now, we're also going to be doing a stitch along for any of my patterns. We had talked about it, and I never really mentioned it again. When I say we, I mean Carolyn and I, because she's my brain and inspiration for so many of these things. So, beginning of the year, January 1st, we'll also do a stitch along for any of the patterns of mine that you have purchased. I will be continuing to work on Santa Fe decor, so that will come back out to play at the beginning of the year. Again, another reason why I want to get my fractal bookmark done, because I have these other full coverage ones that want to come out to play too. Somebody asked me today about Carolyn Manning's sea glass. Yeah, every once in a while that calls to me too. But anyways, the hashtag for my stitch along, we'll just make it Jan Hicks Creates SAL. How does that sound? Jan Hicks Creates SAL. And I'll try to remember to note all of this down in the description box. Speaking of Carolyn Manning, that woman is a pattern producing, design producing machine. Now, granted, a lot of hers at this point are kind of just color changes of ones she's already done. But I mean, she has to plan out all of those colors. She's just, and Over the past week, I think she's put out 10 new patterns, and they are all just wonderful. If you are not following Carolyn Manning, she has both Carolyn Manning Designs and Carolyn Manning Stitch Along group, I think, on Facebook. And again, I'll mention those below. I highly recommend, if you like that type of pattern, type of design, I highly recommend following her. She is just an amazing designer. So let's see, speaking of the bookmarks, again, where would I be without the hive mind? You guys are just so smart. You know so much. So I had mentioned in my last floss tube that you can no longer get the bookmark version of the fractal. Hold on, let the garbage truck pass again. That you could no longer get the bookmark version of the fractal bookmark, but the full size, the complete mandala was still available. I was wrong. Cross Stitch Collectibles does have all of the bookmarks that they've ever done available for purchase. So I will link to that below, and I will link specifically to my bookmark. I hope you can hear me. The phone's right in front of my face, so I'm sure you can. My bookmark is number 705. So I will link all that below. It is $5 now. Several of you have mentioned, a lot of you mentioned that they're still available and that they're available for $3. Well, when I looked at the one I'm doing, the price on it was $5. So, and that could just be just their general, you know, increase in prices or whatever that happens. All right, hold on, let me mark. So thank you to all those that mentioned that. You are very knowledgeable and very helpful, and I am glad you are here. So yeah, I don't know what we're doing on Saturday. Depends on how Mike's feeling. Sunday is the Stitchy get together with my friends here on the island. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to be doing, I haven't made it down to Ben Franklin yet to get the the sticky board I need to finish those pieces I have that need to be finished. So hopefully by my floss tube on Tuesday, if I get the sticky board on Sunday, because the Ben Franklin is right down the road from where we're going to be meeting. We had to actually find a bigger place because we have 2 new people joining us on Sunday. Opal and her mother are joining us. And then we have Christina and Dee and Serena and Aaron, who have been with us for a while. And then hopefully the next month's get together, there's another person, Victoria, who is just getting back to the island after being off for a while on Sunday. So she's just going to be getting settled back in. So she won't make it on this Sunday, but hopefully the next time. So we are up to like 8 people. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, we had to find a bigger place to meet. I need another, let's see. Maybe I will just stick up. So what I'm contemplating is, you know, when you do a diagonal, you usually do like a parallelogram in 10 rows and fill that in. I've come down underneath the 10 rows here, and I was planning on staying with that same color and jumping down here. So I'm debating whether to do that or not. I think I will. I think I will. Let me double check. B is 543, yeah. So pull that out of here, get another strand out. So yeah, I'm also going to go to, there's a store here called the Fabric Mart that Aaron mentioned to me, I guess the other week when I was talking about going to the Joann's when we were back in Phoenix to get those fat quarters, and when we were up in Flagstaff. I haven't been to the Fabric Mart yet, so I'm interested to see like what kind of trims they might have. If they do carry any fat quarters, it'd be fun to get, it would be fun to get some Hawaiian print fat quarters. And I think I might also get some fabric, some Hawaiian print fabric coordinating stuff to send to one of these people that like will make project bags for you if you send them the fabric. And yeah, have Hawaii print project bag made to commemorate my time here on the island. I think I need that, don't you? So that should be fun. All right, let me see where I am. That's there, okay. Also happening this coming week, I think it's Tuesday, whatever day the 10th is, Christine, I keep losing my place here. Christine and her husband, Christine Slaughter of Stitch All the Things, and her husband are doing a Hawaii cruise, or a cruise out to the islands. I assume they're catching a boat on the coast of the mainland someplace. But anyways, they are going to be here in Honolulu on the 10th. So I'll be going down there to meet up with Christine and her husband. So I'm pretty darn excited about that. All right, see that thick slub there in that linen? That's always kind of a challenge to make sure that we are going over the right number of threads, okay? And to make sure we're still on, that we haven't gone over too many. See, that's 1, 2, and that's 1, 2, okay. And that's actually a good little tip. One way to check when you're stitching on any of the linen or even weaves, when you kind of bounce over like that, before you start, make sure, like I just counted over to make sure I was still going over 2 and over 2, that I had landed in the right place, because there are some times that I've landed like 1 off, and then of course it's not going to meet up right anyplace else, and you're just like 1 thread off, and that is so annoying. So again, count twice, count 3 times even, stitch once. It will make you a happier stitcher. It's worth the extra, the very minuscule extra time it takes to check. So let's see, what else is happening? Nothing new on the move front. Like I said, don't expect to have anything on that until closer to the end of the month, or January, after the holidays. Poor Sasha has been rather a mess this week. So Mike accidentally got, we actually switched from wet food to dry food because they were just so consistently, both of the cats, turning up their noses at the wet food. And we got all kinds of different flavors, and probably once a day, oops, that doesn't go there. Once a day we were throwing out food. They would just turn their noses up. Something's wrong here, hold on. Shoot. All right, those 3 are wrong. Let me get this focused here. Those 3 stitches, Come on, focus on the stitching and not my hand. Those 3 stitches, this needs to be over 1 more. So, needs to be lined up with this one here. So, out we come. So yeah, we switched to dry food because, you know, we give them, whenever it's shot time for Sasha, which we, you know, twice a day we have to shoot the cat. For those that are new here, our male cat is a diabetic, so he gets an insulin shot twice a day. We always give them treats. We give them greenies. And yes, Nina gets the greenies too, even though she's not the one being shot because she's a spoiled little princess. But anyway, so they like, you know, the greenies are hard food, and so we know that they were okay with the dry food type of stuff. So we decided to switch to that, even though it's not the best for Sasha. You know, he, as a diabetic, he needs to have more protein than carbs. We're just to the point, we need them to eat. We would be giving them like 2 or 3 cans of the wet food a day, and oops, just pulled that out. And, you know, they're big cats. They would go through that amount of food without a problem. Oh, for heaven's sakes, if they would eat. But there were just so many times that they weren't eating that, again, like the food would sit on the plate and just go bad. And so yeah, we decided to switch to the dry food and give that a try. And that was about a month ago. All right, I'm counting again. Hold on. So that's the corner. I'm coming down there and over there. And it's been going, you know, no problems at all. It's not like there was any difference in Sasha, either outward or inward, that we could tell. Well, Mike accidentally picked up, and we're using Crave, so it's, you know, it's no grain, but it does have, you know, it's made of starches. It's made of potato starch and pea starch and tapioca, and so even though they say no grain, it is still carbs. But at least they were eating it. And like I said, Sasha seemed to be fine. Well, Mike accidentally picked up that same brand, but kitten food. And almost immediately, Sasha started having diarrhea. And in the past, diarrhea has always been a sign that he's had a urinary tract infection. So we hightailed it to the vet and checked him out. They did a sugar test on him, and yeah, his sugar is very elevated. But he showed no other signs of having a urinary tract infection. So we explained about changing to the dry food, and she said that could very well be it. And then we asked about, you know, we accidentally got this kitten food, and that's about when the diarrhea started. Could that be a problem? And she explained that kitten food is much richer. Even though the ingredients may be the same, the calorie count is going to be different, that there's just, you know, for kittens, there's just more to it. So we stopped the kitten food. We poured out what was in there and, you know, threw it away and got some of the regular food again. And he seems to be stabilizing. Now, his sugar numbers still could be off. She wanted us to get a urine sample. And, you know, Mike has done that enough times in the past that, you know, we can do it, but it's a challenge. So, well, usually in the past, they've given us like this little oval dish that you can just stick under him when he's peeing. And he just pees in the dish. This time she just gave us, one of the little urine jars like you have to pee in when you're at the doctor's office. Yeah, and that wasn't happening. So we're going to, now that we've changed the food and he seems to be stabilizing, we're going to not worry about the urine sample because we don't think it's a urinary tract infection. We're going to wait and take him back in and have his glucose tested again. She gave us a little, well, she said we could test his glucose ourselves with just a regular, glucose monitoring thing like human diabetics use. And what you're supposed to do is like take a sample from the ear, but you're supposed to be able to hit a vein by doing it a certain way. And she explained it all to us. But Mike probably tried, well, the first time he was able to do it fairly easily. The next time he had to try, he probably tried 5 or 6 times and he could not find a vein. And the cats are pretty, at least Sasha was pretty mellow at that point, but after a while he started to feel it and started to get rather crotchety about it. So we have to take them in and have them draw some blood and run the test. So yeah, fun with cats, fun with pets in general, fun with kids too. Samuel had surgery this week. He had a couple of infected lymph nodes in his jaw that he had removed. He was kind of spaced out when I talked to him after the surgery. I haven't heard from him again. I have to get in touch with him and see what's happening. And then Ben got in touch with us the other day. He thinks he has a wisdom teeth coming in and button up against his molar that he'll need to have taken out. When they were home, every 6 months we had them in at the doctor, at the dentist, getting their teeth cleaned and, keeping an eye on things. So Samuel, we knew when his wisdom teeth were coming in. He was able to come down. He was in college at that point up in Orlando. Had him come down and had the surgery done, in Sarasota, so I could be, with him and, kind of take care of him. So Ben just turned 21. So he's about the same age as Samuel, but of course he's on his own 6,000 miles away. And I don't know. I'm sure he hasn't been to the dentist since the last time that he went when we were still in Sarasota. It is hard. And of course, he's not going to spend money on a dentist. We would pay for it anyways. But neither of them go anymore for regular checkups and regular cleanings. And, we stress the importance of that because Lord knows you don't want to wait until your teeth get bad to the point where you need anything major. So anyway, Ben will probably be having wisdom teeth surgery in the not too distant future. He has to find a dentist in Orlando and get started on that process. I'm hoping at that point that we're in San Antonio by then. But even then, he's living in an apartment with other people. It's not like I can necessarily go and, I guess I could and take care of him. It'd just be kind of strange. But I would like to be closer. It seems to be a common theme these days for me, I know. I would like to be closer. So I was going to tell you, I put some pictures at the beginning of this. I was going to tell you about the pictures of my setup here, just kind of tell you what you were looking at a little bit. So these are our new recliners that you saw. Very comfy, motorized recliners. They work very well. Much more comfortable on my back as far as the setup I have. So my Lowry stand is to the left of me. And, for the most part, I don't necessarily use it. Right hole, wrong hole. Hold on. I think this stitch be in the wrong hole. This one is definitely in the wrong hole. It needs to be over one. In this case, I'm not going to worry about it. This is one of those what ifs that somebody asked me about to cover. So this stitch here, the top leg is too far over. Do you see how it is coming down in the middle of the X above it? Right? It needs to be over here. I'm not going to worry about taking that out. I'm just going to start this new X in the correct place and carry on from there. Maybe not the most, if you're a perfectionist, thing to do, but once this is completed, nobody's going to notice that. For the most part, it's all in the right place. So anyways, Lowry stand. I like it. I like how it works. I like the placement of it. I haven't really used it that much with a frame in it. I will be doing that once I get started on Farewell to Anger and get back to Santa Fe decor. I will be stitching two-handed. But it is nice. I have my light clamped on it. Now, several of you did recommend the Light View light to me. I actually got that one and this one that I'm using. I forget the name of this one. It's actually the same one that I have in the RV. And I like it because the Light View one was too big. It was too heavy. I couldn't clamp it on the stand. It was too heavy for that. And the tables that are around me really don't have the correct setup and the correct lips for that kind of light. It was just too heavy for anything that I have around here. Or it just wouldn't have worked. So this one that I'm using does have a clamp on it as well. It's clamped onto my Lowry stand. It has different colors of lighting and different intensities, so I can mess with all of that. And the gooseneck on it is very flexible yet pretty sturdy, so I can position it right where I want it. So I'm very happy with that, and it is fairly lightweight. So anyways, I have that on my Lowry stand, and I can then not only move the gooseneck, but move the Lowry stand enough, even when I'm stitching in hand, to get the light right over top of me, like coming right down here instead of coming over my left shoulder. So I'm no longer feeling like I have to tilt to the left to get into the light better. So that is definitely helping my back, which is a very good thing. So my little table I have next to me, the lid flips open, so I store all of my goodies in there. And at night I put everything away and close it back up so the cats can't get into it and fur doesn't get into it and all that good stuff. And then you can see on the floor I have a little magazine rack. It's actually an old Longaberger one that I've had for years. I have my bag with my knitting. And then we just have this little table kind of sitting in between the chairs to put, like if we're over here drinking a coffee or whatever and we need, the coffee mug doesn't fit into the little cup holders that are on this recliner setup. So yeah, this is working pretty darn well. I am actually pretty excited, not only to start Farewell to Anger, of course, because that seems like it's been a long time coming, but to start really working with the stand. I did get the longer L clamp, or the longer L bar, to extend it out. I finally went ahead and got the one that I needed. If you recall, I had gotten one, but it was for the stainless steel stand, and the stainless steel Lowry stands, the metal bar is actually thicker than the powder gray one. So I found the powder gray one, I think somebody here recommended it, I don't remember, from a store in Canada. And of course, since the US dollar is stronger than the Canadian dollar, I kind of got a good deal, even with the shipping out here. I still have the other one that I have to sell, but I'm going to wait until we get moved to San Antonio so that the shipping won't be quite as much, because it is quite a heavy piece. Oh, I just realized what we're going to be doing tomorrow. We're going to be putting up our Christmas tree. I bought a Christmas tree. I just bought a little one from Amazon this year. We usually have been getting live ones, and we were going to get a live one. The high school here sells them as a fundraiser, and we were going to get it from there, but we just don't have very much room, and the only place we could put it really would be just kind of in the way. So we decided to get a smaller fake one, and that means I'll have a second tree at our house in San Antonio. I've never had more than one tree. I have enough ornaments for more than one tree. So that's kind of fun. I'm just amazed, like Linda Hoberg. Linda, all those trees you put up just blows my mind. Just blows my mind. I think she put up 6 trees, and I know Priscilla puts up a ton too, and that blows my mind too. Yeah. Not who I am, but that's okay. I do like looking at all that stuff, and all the decorations do make me happy. There's an apartment building across the way when I'm looking out my windows, and I did show you kind of the view I have as I'm sitting here in my chair, so you see some of that in the pictures up front. But there's an apartment complex over that way, across the valley a little bit, and the balconies over there are just coming alive with Christmas lights. It's really kind of fun to watch. So I hope, if I don't have enough lights when I'm at Ben Franklin on Sunday, I will be getting more so I can decorate our lanai as well, and yeah, just have a little fun this Christmas season. I haven't put up Christmas decorations in 2 years, since we did not decorate last year. You know, we arrived on the island December 7th. Our household goods didn't get here until beginning of January, second week of January, third week of January, somewhere around, probably beginning of January. Yeah, I almost forget what I have. So I'm looking forward to pulling out the Christmas decorations tomorrow and seeing what I can do in this apartment. And I will show you all of my Christmas stitching. I have a ton of Christmas stitching. Well, maybe not as much. I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember what I have. I mean, I know 2 right off the top of my head. I think I might have gotten rid of a couple. Because I can't think of the last time I saw us. I had some Stony Creek Christmas things that I had made for my mother. And of course she passed away so long ago that I got them back after that. And I can't remember the last time I put those up, so I'm wondering now where they went to. But anyways, we'll have a little tour of that. Not really a tour. I'll just be showing you what I have. I don't have that much to do a tour. All right, guys. I think that is all for today. I'm going to finish off this thread here. It'd be good if I could get down. I probably have about, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more stitches in this color, in this section. It'd be good if I could finish this off. Oh, one more thing I was going to tell you. I am going to have some gorgeous fabric to show you in the not too distant future. So my friend Maria works at the Stitch Niche in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and she was straightening up the fabric there yesterday and came across this piece of Witchelt Caribbean blue, and she sent me a picture. She said, I saw this and thought of you. And I was like, oh, Maria, I need some of that. Oh, it's good to have friends not only that work in cross-stitch stores, but that know you so well. And it's like, you know, it's, I don't know what I'll plan for it. Actually, as soon as I saw it, do you remember I showed you the Teresa Kogut angel the other day that had the turquoise background and red in her dress? And I said the reason the turquoise works, I think, is because that red in her dress really, they kind of complement, and the two strong colors really worked well together. And so as soon as I saw that Caribbean blue, I thought of that angel. I don't know whether that will happen. But anyways, a piece of that is coming to me because I needed that in my life, regardless of what I'm going to do with it, right? All right, so there's 6. So let's see how much I've left. It's gonna be close. Oops, 6. 7. 8. I know it'd be shorter, or I'd have more left if I didn't do those long stitches. When you're stitching straight down, you go over, basically over 4 threads. So you lose a bit of thread there, but it's faster. But I'm doing that here because I am getting down to my little tail end. See, when you do it that way, you kind of end up having to go back and forth to maintain the direction of your stitches. And that means your stitches don't look quite as neat. But there you have it. Yay! All right, so that's all of that color for that whole side of the halo. So let me end this thread and end this video. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I hope you're doing something to celebrate the season. There are Christmas parades here this weekend in a bunch of different towns. There's craft shows in a bunch of different towns. I hope you have that kind of stuff going on where you live. If you celebrate the holidays, or if you celebrate something different, I just hope you have a great weekend. I will be back. Let's see, I'm going to try, like I said, and do a video of the setting up my coin folders for Farewell to Anger. Hopefully I'll get that filmed this weekend, depending on other stuff going on. And if not, I will see you Monday for my next Basics of Cross Stitch, which will be all about floss. Until then, guys, have a fantastic weekend. Know that I love you, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.